Hello everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. In this video, I want to share my thoughts on the Mothman. It's just my personal opinion, not to argue with anybody. It's just my personal opinion that based on what I know, based on what I found out, my own type of research and stuff like that, that the Mothman is without a doubt an extraterrestrial being. And I don't think he's associated at all with evil spirits or he's considered an evil spirit. I just think that it's a certain class of extraterrestrial beings. Now, some people say it's that the Mothman is extra dimensional and this and that he comes from another dimension. There's some misconception into something like that to begin with. Creatures like that are pretty much, I would say, hiding in that dimension. They're not from that dimension. They're actually physical beings. They're flesh and blood physical beings. And they have the technology to move through dimensions. And they know how to hide into this other type of reality. And they come into ours. And some of the stories in which these things come in their own UFOs in certain, I don't know how many stories pertaining to it, but there's a few stories that I've heard in which they were actually coming out of UFOs and they made contact with people. Most of it has to do with them being in dark places or someone would unfortunately just come across them in their backyard or in a highway somewhere or in the woods in some open area or whatever the case may be. It's just my personal opinion that the Mothman is actually an extraterrestrial and not some evil spirit or of some sort or whatever. But of course, that's just my opinion on it. I'm not trying to argue. Just give me your opinion, drop your comment on this, and just let me know. And here's more on it. According to eyewitness accounts, the Mothman is supposed to be about 7 feet tall. People that were unlucky enough to cross paths with him would feel an overwhelming feeling of anxiety, confusion, and just basically overwhelming terror. It also has red glowing eyes, according to many eyewitnesses. And they feel as if this thing could actually read their mind or they could see right through them. They see the feeling is overwhelming. It could drain out energy from their victims. It is known to extract out energy or draw energy out from his victims. And according to the actual reports, that this thing is actually not just one, but many of them. That there's more than one of these type of creatures. That this thing actually comes from another planet. Too many people are believing this thing as being an entity trapped, or from hell or trapped in hell, and all of the other type of which I believe is nonsense, because it's most likely an extraterrestrial and not an evil spirit. The thing is, it's one of those hierarchies, since many aliens are at different ranks. This one, suspicion-wise, which again is just my opinion, not to debate with people deliberately, but is actually something that I believe is from another planet. Others might disagree, which is fine, it's okay. But the fact that it could actually read your mind, it could actually see right through you, and project as much fear, which I believe it collects from other victims. The more fear they collect, the longer their lifespan. And whenever they confront another unfortunate person, they feel all the negativity from the creature's past victims all at once. And that's why they can't handle the fear whenever they come in contact with them. Those that are unlucky. Many of them, I believe, again, nothing that I can prove, it's just an opinion of mine, that many of them are actually working with the U.S. government or the military. Again, that's according to rumor. Whether or not this is true is really open to debate. I honestly don't know. I just find this kind of thing interesting and also very disturbing, depending on how you want to look at it. It is without a doubt that this thing is diabolically evil, that it has evil intentions, that it's very, very antagonistic towards human beings. But it's also not to be trifled with. Of course, no one should be a victim of it as well. Any questions or comments, you know what to do. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. This is Dare to Speak. And to all of you, take care.